Dum, 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 dum. Nearly ready. Are you there? Excuse me. Can you bear with me? Meditation's coming. I'm just getting all set up, making sure I'm in the right place. A little bit off on Instagram. Just getting organized on YouTube. YouTube's looking lovely. Meditation's coming. Just bear with, please. Just gotta get Facebook online. Then we're off and running. Or we're off and not running. Just waiting for Facebook to come through. Nearly there. Surf. I don't understand that language, but hi. Somebody's left a message. Amicus Seni Amalint. I don't know what that means. Okay. Good. Everything's good. How are you? How's it all going? How's the day going? Good. I hope it's good. It's all right if it's not. Not every day is going to be great, but I hope it's good. We're going to do a bit of meditation now. This isn't a class. It's a chance to meditate together. It's part of the further emergence work I do. I'll explain all about further emergence when we're finished the meditation. So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is what I do. If you're experienced in meditation, that's brilliant. Can you hang on though while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation? For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with the part of me that I connect to every night when I go to sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I have no thoughts, no memories, no emotions, no personality. I've got no body really. I've got no house, stories, country, nothing. All just disappears. I even disappear because I sort of cease to exist, certainly in the way that I normally register my existence. So that sounds terrible, doesn't it? That sounds like death. Yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that is a good place that I go to. And that's where I want to go to when I'm meditating. I just want to do it consciously. So if you're new to meditation, don't try this lying down because you'll go asleep. And if you don't go asleep, you'll battle sleep. Both of which are not going in the direction you want to go. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit in a lotus position. You can if you want. But I'm just sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure it's not too comfortable, like a big comfy armchair, because then you're into the risk of falling asleep again. So as I said, there's no mind in this place. My mind can't seem to get there, so I have to figure out a way to sort of part the curtains of my mind to get into this place. That's the way I think of it. So I make an arrangement with my mind where I say, hey, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes because I'm meditating? And at this stage, my mind is on board. It's very helpful to have your mind on board, so there's no resistance to where so your mind is not going, oh no, not meditation again. I hate meditation. If that's happening, give your mind the sort of things that minds like. Minds like thoughts, ideas, concepts. So maybe read a little bit about meditation, maybe watch some meditation videos, and then your mind will be on board. So my mind is on board. Good. Next thing is stop thinking. That's actually easier than it would first appear, because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be like the content of my thoughts, the structure of my thoughts is always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and turn off the sound, that's it. I'm not thinking. So as soon as I stop thinking, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation runs parallel to the intention of meditation. So my intention is, as I said, to go to this deep, mysterious, profound, still, calm, just thinking of all the words they use to describe meditation, Zen-like place. And then the practice of meditation pretty much goes, I turn off the pictures, I turn off the sound, so I stop thinking. Then some time passes and I discover I'm thinking again. So I'm like, oh, I'm thinking again. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. I bring myself back to not thinking. Then some more time passes, I discover I'm thinking again. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking again, okay. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. And some more time passes, I discover I'm thinking again. Oh, bring myself back, and so on. repeatedly bringing myself back to not thinking every time I discover that I'm thinking. That's it. That's the practice of meditation. It's that simple. And I'm sort of highlighting the difference between the two because it's easy to get the misconception that you shouldn't be thinking at all, which isn't the case. It's a dance between these two things. Sometimes you're deep and still, other times you're discovering that you're thinking. Both are powerful in their own way. It's very obviously kind of powerful when you're in that deep, still place, but it's also powerful when you're discovering that you're thinking as well. It's just maybe it's not so obvious. Because if you're like me, the sort of things you'll be thinking about are to do with you. So I'll be going, why did I say that to that person? And why did that person say that to me? And what am I going to do about that thing? Or that kind of thing. So if I'm in the middle of meditation and I'm having one of those thoughts, and I go, oh, thinking, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, bring myself back to not thinking. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself is, you know that thought that you were having, that you thought was you and you were it? We just made that disappear. So you're not that thought, obviously. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else. That's very powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly is very powerful as well. So, don't add to your thinking by thinking that you're not doing it right or that you're thinking too much. There's no right amount. There's no, you should only bring your mind back from thinking 10 times in 15 minutes. Nothing like that at all. It changes. It changes from day to day and it changes from hour to hour. You might meditate in the morning and you might not have to bring your mind back from thinking that much. You might do it in the afternoon. There might be lots. Neither is better or worse. It just changes like you change. The main thing is, every time you discover that you're thinking, just bring yourself back to not thinking. Do that and you're doing it great. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. And I have a system for that. I scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again. And anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go. Because it's natural to just breathe it away. But then it's also a good way to remember to breathe or to bring more awareness to my breathing. Because it's easy to hold your breath in meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So using the out breath to let tension go is a good way of becoming more aware of my breath and to avoid the holding. Also, as I'm scanning my body up and down, I'm paying particular attention to any areas or structures in my body that go across my body. Mostly my body runs longitudinally, head to feet. But anywhere that goes across acts a little bit like a log across a stream. It just has a tendency to pick up the leaves and the twigs, and branches, anything that's coming down the river, except in my body, that would be tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, my neck, the base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, they're transverse sites as well, so my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles and my toes. Having a nice quiet room is helpful if you're just beginning in meditation. One of the reasons being when you close your eyes, your hearing will amplify. And one of the things that triggers thoughts is noise, little noises, big noises. So a nice quiet room helps. It's helping your mind have one less thing to think about. And then the other thing I do to help my mind have one less thing to think about is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I am going to set mine for 15 minutes, but if you're new, I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter, maybe set it for 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times. Because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Yeah, okay. So, if there are no other questions, which there aren't, no. Okay, off we go then. Let me just set my timer. Off we go into the mystery. you feel like you've traveled very deeply inside and you feel like you need to come back from there or travel back, then take your time before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that, you sort of lose the connection with the inner space, you can just close your eyes again. Oh yeah, there it is again. Open my eyes. Oh no, lost again. Close my eyes. You can just use your eyes like a valve to balance the inner space and the outer space. So as I said at the beginning, these meditations I do, these daily meditations, they're part of further emergence. And further emergence is to do with growth, inner growth, growth in, consciousness, spiritual growth, growth in awareness, all that sort of stuff. And when your body is growing as a child and you become an adolescent and then an adult, your body kind of stops growing as an adult and switches into something else. But you keep growing on the inside, that doesn't change. And just like when you were growing your body, you might have gone through periods of accelerated growth, what are called growth spurts. Well, they happen on the inside as well. And they continue on for the rest of your life. And just in the same way that when you had growing pains as a child, you weren't brought to the doctor, hopefully. It's painful and it's uncomfortable, but it's just a natural thing, and you just, it passes, it passes. It's the same with the inner growth spurts, or as I call it, further emergence. There's these periods of intense inner growth that can be quite painful or quite disorienting, can manifest in lots of different ways, whether it's just feeling isolated and, almost overnight you don't recognize your life and you don't recognize yourself in your life. This life that you've created doesn't fit anymore. People don't seem to relate to you the way they used to. They don't get you. You can feel quite lonely. Sometimes you can have weird physical symptoms. Sometimes you can feel everything speeding up, or you can feel like you're blocked, like you can feel like back pressure building up, and lots of other ways as well. So I've been through it myself loads of times. I've helped loads of people through it. These daily meditations are helpful because they're a chance to get more familiar with your inner space. And the more familiar you are with your inner space, the easier it is to navigate those difficult growth spurts. There's also a Zoom group every Friday. That's for people who are going through it or have this whole idea of inner growth resonates with them. And that's a chance to kind of go, oh, okay, I'm not on my own. There are other people here. It's more in-depth meditation, questions and answers. You can see what they're like on the different feeds depending on where you're looking at it. I pretty much post them on all the feeds, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. So you can look back and kind of go, oh, that's what they're like. And then I have the audio from those as a podcast, so you can listen to that when you're going for your run, or, well, no one's running anywhere now, but yeah, you can listen to it on like any other podcast. And then the other thing I do is I work with people one-to-one. So I do that. It's kind of, I think of it as working behind the scenes and in front of the scenes with the person. The in front of the scenes is talking and questions and working it through. And then I also do distance behind the scenes work as well, which is much more energetic, and it's in that deep kind of mysterious place that we just were in the meditation. That's where I do that work. So if all that resonates with you or rings a bell, then follow along on the different, whatever platform you're looking at it on, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever you do on whatever platform you're on. Or you can go to the website, furtheremergence.com. You can find the podcast there as well. Okay, so thanks for meditating with me, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.